holes. Like, hey, I need a wrench over here. Hello? I said I need a wrench over here. Will somebody drill a pair of holes in their ears and bring me my Huh? Oh, it's you, Squeaky. And you brought me a wrench. Well, praise the steam. It's even the right one, too. I'll take that. Thanks, Squeaky. Now I can get these stupid bolts fastened, and have the ship's hull sealed tighter than a grease monkey's grabbers on payday. Huh? Oh, that. Well, I tried to fasten these bolts using a different kind of tool. It was one of those universal ones, with a wrench-like attachment. I was almost making progress for a good second there, until my universal tool turned out to be more planetary than I thought. Yes, it broke. And before you say anything, it's not my fault. I know I lost my first uni tool when we were hauling materials for the ship, and I broke my second one beating the aristocrat's automation into scrap metal, but this time is different. The stupid thing self-destructed on me. And if you tell the floor master any different, I'll change your nickname from Squeaky Clean to Dearly Departed. Got it? Alright. Glad we got that settled. Now make yourself useful, and give me your hands. There we go. Hold down the edge of the panel. Just like that. I'll just... Almost there. And done. Thanks for your help, Squeaky. I almost couldn't do it without you. That's right, Squeaky. Almost. Because truth is, I absolutely could have done that without you. But if I did, you might wind up thinking that we only keep you around as a piece of eye candy. Anyways, look at her. With that panel in place, she's nearly done. She's the pride and joy of Aetherian Steamworks, the Nightingale. I can't wait to get a chance to ride her. I know this isn't our ship, Squeaky. It's a commission. But then again, we can't very well hand off this beauty to our client without putting her through some paces first. And it doesn't matter where we test her either. Whether it's flying high in the sky or sailing through the raging seas, the Nightingale is designed to outperform every other ship in her class. I'm so insanely jealous of the big shot who gets to take her home. What? Who told you that? The Barnet brothers? Those blockheads? I ought to turn them into gear food. Well, to answer your question, yes. I do get airsick and seasick and certain types of motion sick, all on top of travel-induced anxiety, but I'm telling you now, with the ancestors as my witness, when the Nightingale sets sail, I'm going to be on it. Now that that's been established, why don't you go ahead and try to find those two idiots? They're supposed to be working, but I haven't seen a hint of them around all morning, which means they're probably goofing off somewhere. And hey! Tell Bobby and Beauregard that the next time I catch them spilling my tea, I'll dump a freshly brewed pot on their heads.
I'm telling you, Bobby, it's meant to be.
Oh.
I felt the stars align as sure as my soul.
Oh, heaven help me, he's getting poetic.
What you got against poetry, Bobby? Does the language of love it is?
I don't have anything against poetry, Bo. What I have is a gripe against you. every time you see a pretty young thing look your way, you fall head over heels and start thinking fancy.
I do not.
Do too. There was Elise from the bakery.
That was an honest mix-up.
There was Denise from the junkyard.
I told you she was making eyes at me.
There was Lenore at the diner.
Her husband was more the problem than me.
And there was Jackie at the tattoo parlor.
She was a work of art. Wherein works of art? Why, I bet a glance from her would make any man swoon.
See? This is what I'm talking about. You let your heart get in front of your face, and then I have to deal with you moping about when you faceplant. And now you've set your eyes on Elmira's biggest idol, Princess Priscilla herself.
I told you, Bobby. When she looked at me, and I looked at her, the rest of the world just faded away.
Ugh.
Well, that's no attitude to have.
Bo, it's not gonna happen.
Sure it is. How else do you explain the heart-melting smile she sent my way?
She's an idol, Bo. And you were at her concert. Of course she would smile at you.
So you did see it.
I did, Bo. I did see her smile at you. At you, me, and at everyone else in the stands.
You're just jealous of what we have.
Ugh.
Bobby, don't look now. I think we got ourselves a visitor.
Huh? What, Squeaky? How long have you been standing there?
Longer than you should have is right. Ain't you ever heard that it's impolite to eavesdrop? So you would argue that standing no less than 5 feet from us during our conversation doesn't constitute as eavesdropping? I reckon that's true enough. It's not like you was hiding, and we were too involved with the topic at hand to pay you any mind. Guess that means we owe you an apology.
You don't owe anybody anything, Bo. It's just a fly in the mesh. And now that that's squared away, what are you doing here, Squeaky? We're the ones supposed to be hauling gears today. Penny sent you to find us.
Oh, goodness sakes, I hope she doesn't think we got lost.
Ugh, Bo.
Now, don't get cross with me, Bobby. It's only natural to start worrying when someone goes missing at the worksite. Now, come on. We have to show Penny that the both of us are okay.
Bo, she's not worried about... Hey, what are you doing?
I'm lifting up the engine gear that the two of us were sitting on. Now, hurry up and lift your side. We have a frantic console.
Wait, Bo. Damn, this thing is so heavy. Hey, stop walking so fast. Hey.
I can't believe I'm working on this ship. I used to have so much fun working on it. Polishing gears, adjusting the mesh, directing power lines. Oh, even synchronizing the navigation systems. It was fun before today. That's just 12 plus hours of fighting a pair of magnets. Oh, why did I have to... Ah! Spies! Ow. Wait a minute. I know that voice. That's... Squeaky! Oh, you nearly gave me a heart attack. Oh, I'm okay. My head's actually a lot harder than it looks. Let me just... There. All done. Now I can talk to you like a person. And not just like a gopher suffering from kleptomania. Huh? Why would you ask me that? I said I was okay, didn't I? I mean, every other day I've been okay. So why wouldn't I be now? It's not like I've learned some horrifying new secret about the nature of the Nightingale that's been making me more and more neurotic while I begin to question every decision of my life I've ever made. Okay, I confess. I did learn something about the Nightingale. I overheard it from the floor master last night, as I was leaving work. And since then, I haven't gotten a moment's rest. You don't think it's that bad, huh? Well, get a load of this. Apparently, the person who's commissioned us to build this ship, well, they're not really a person at all. It turns out, we were hired by our company. No. Wait. We were hired by the company. The one and only mega corporation that secretly rules the world. Avalon! Oh, don't look at me like that, Squeaky. I'm not a nut. You may not have said as much, but that look on your face says I better find her a straitjacket. Oh, don't have to apologize. If anything, I'm sorry. I've been a jittering mess all morning. Not even halfway done with the ship's engine mesh. As you could probably tell, what with all these gears lying around. Meanwhile, everyone else has been working hard to get the ship voyage worthy. I'm being a huge letdown. No, really. I am letting everyone down. There's no two ways about it. I don't even want to think about how the floor master would react if he saw me now. Huh? Oh, Oh, Squeaky, you're right. I don't think the floor master has a lot of room to be mad at me. Not if the Barnets are out on the floor hauling gears. Thanks, Squeaky. You really made my day. Oh, it's nothing, Squeaky. I was just worried over conspiracies all. Really, it's nothing worth talking about. Well, if you insist. I'm sure you know a lot about Avalon already. They're the world's leading mega corporation, after all. There isn't a nation, city, town, or hovel whose belongings didn't first pass through the hands of an Avalon employee. Avalon makes everything. All the way from tools for machinery work, down to simple toys for children. In this, Avalon has created a network of connections spanning the globe. And I hear that those who lead Avalon only seek to expand their reach, which makes a lot of people nervous. I've even heard rumors of Avalon officials hunting down small businesses and store owners, only to make them an offer they can't refuse. I don't know if I believe all the rumors, Squeaky, but there are far too many to just ignore. And speaking of, the absolute worst rumor surrounding Avalon is also the one who's the most evident to support it. The rumor is Avalon has spent millions trying to dig up the old tech. They won't stop until they find it, getting it working again, and use it to relaunch the Silver Age, making themselves rulers of mankind in the process. Seems like a pretty outlandish theory, first glance. After all, everyone knows that the old tech died with the Silver Disaster, some several thousands years ago. Meaning that, even if Avalon was able to find a usable piece of old tech, they wouldn't even be able to turn it on. And as the world today runs on ether and not electricity. But, with that being said, Avalon is definitely up to something. They have their hands in too many baskets. their noses into too many fields. It has to mean something. I guess those actions could be led by greed. But think about it, Squeaky. Why would Avalon, a company capable of making their own fleet of airships, hire us? And what's more, why hire us to build a hybrid vessel, which no one has ever attempted before, with specs that make it seem like the owner wants to outrun death itself? I don't know either, Squeaky. I just don't know. But let's not think about that right now. We have a job to do, and I'm falling behind on mine. Why don't you go see the floor master and see what he has for you to do? I know that you may feel tempted to join Penny or me, or even the Barnets as we work, but don't forget, we're all seasoned builders. We can do our jobs by ourselves, or even in our sleep, and still make the deadlines. Whereas you are still very new to this field, and haven't decided which engineering field you'd like to specialize in yet. Yes, Squeaky. That is how you got your nickname. While the rest of us are all, well, seasoned and properly filthy grease monkeys. You're shiny and new and squeaky clean. Now, no more questions. The floor master should be here soon, and he'll want you to check in with him before getting started on your day. So go on, get going. And Squeaky. Thank you.
How long before Penny finishes up the hull?
Well, between my conversation with her yesterday and the extraordinary progress she's already made today, I think we can expect the hull to be completed by tomorrow.
Tomorrow? That's 3 days early.
Well, you know Penny. She lives to work. Besides that, she really wants to see the Nightingale set sail, and she's been punishing herself extra hard in order to accomplish that.
Uh-huh. Do me a favor. Give her an extra 2 hours at lunch today. And don't let her back onto the floor until she's rested.
Sir, while I appreciate your concern for Penny, I don't like my chances when standing between her and her baby.
You'll be fine, Cassie. Penny may be a little hot under the collar sometimes, but she won't bite. Or at least, she won't bite you. I think.
Uh-huh.
Penny's overworking aside, how's the rest of the ship coming along? I thought I saw Nightingale's second gear mesh mapped out on the floor yesterday. Don't tell me. We're ahead of schedule on the steam engine as well.
Penelope did finish mapping out the second gear mesh yesterday, but between that and priming the rest of Nightingale's gears, she didn't have time to install anything. I want to say she'll be done with her work by noon, but based on this morning... Ah, Squeaky. Good morning.
Good morning, Squeaky. I'm glad to see you're here so bright and early. But let's not get too overzealous. If you beat me here to work every morning, the crew will never let me live it down. Hold on. What do you mean? You are already here.
My. Not only was Squeaky here before you, Floor Master, but he's even been helping the crew work on the ship. I guess we should have known. Normally Penny would be tearing the workbench apart right now, looking for a tool that was already on her belt. And the Barnets would probably be off napping somewhere, with Penelope hyperfixating on some rusty gear she found in the corner. Come to think of it, maybe the reason why we're so ahead of schedule on the Nightingale is all because of our precious little gem right here.
Well, for my sake, I hope that's not the case. Because if it is, then I'm out of a job. Speaking of jobs, who exactly did you see today, Squeaky? Cassandra and I just got here, so we only had a chance to check on Penny so far.
Yes, and she, being so engrossed with her work, only stopped long enough to shout, "Sod off, I'm working," at the top of her lungs.
Okay, so you saw Penelope. That saves us time. We were just on our way to the engine room to check on her. So, how is she doing? She would need more time with the second gear mesh. I don't understand. I thought she mapped out the entire thing yesterday. All that should be left is to put all of the marked components into place. Unless, of course, there's a problem with one of the gears. Cassandra, who do we have on hauling duty today?
Today?
What is it?
Huh? Oh, it's nothing. It's just...
What aren't you telling me, Cassandra?
Squeaky?
The Barnet brothers. Hauling gears. Really? Cassandra.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm really, truly sorry. I was filling out the schedule, my thoughts got away from me, and before I knew it, the Barnets were in the hauling bracket. I know you said you didn't like putting those two on hauling detail on account of how important gears are, and on account of how those two like to slack off, but Beauregard is a giant who could put the Nightingale on his shoulders, and Bobby will hardly let Beau out of his sight. So I figured maybe if I just gave the two of them a stern talking to, that somehow, perhaps, everything would work out.
A stern talking to. You. To the Barnets.
It could happen.
Uh-huh. So tell me, did this stern talking to involve the phrases, "Pretty please," and "Thank you so much," and maybe even, "You're my heroes"?
No.
Babysitting.
What?
From this moment on, you are going to be babysitting Bobby and Beau Barnet.
What? For how long?
Sunset.
But that's when we close.
Indeed.
Floor master.
Gears are a valuable resource, Cassandra. They allow us to draw ether out of the great stream and channel it into machinery. Without gears, mankind would have been left technologically stuck and suffering in the Hollow Ages before quietly going extinct.
Yes, but it's not like leaving Bobby and Beau to haul our gears will lead to some new kind of catastrophe.
Oh, I know it won't. You want to know why?
Why?
Because you are going to be babysitting them. Understand?
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, Squeaky.
Don't worry about her, Squeaky. She'll be fine. Also, Cassandra couldn't hold a grudge to save her own life. So, no worries on that front. But enough about that. For now, let's see what we can do about getting this hunk of metal off the ground.